Hello, Mike and Vision here. I am here with just another Vision buddy. I am in Indiana right now, part of my quest to restore my vision naturally, to no longer have the need for prescription glasses. And I've been here with my friend Dale. We've been doing vision work for the last 24 hours roughly. We have this deck, we've been looking out and seeing stuff.
Hello, Vision friends.
And there's a excellent view.
You can see the wave runners we were on yesterday.
And my friend here, he was just on this hammock. And there's lots and lots of opportunities for all these clarity in the trees here. And if you have a spot where you can just sit and relax for just gaze, eyes open, eyes closed, all this movement.
Let's talk about the roof we were talking about yet across the way. Next time you go by, scoop in on them. So we're looking at some of the visual detail that can come in as you're rocking or swaying or blinking, whatever method of relaxation brings in the detail, brings in the roof line, brings in the shingle lines, brings in the lines of the window that's below the roof line. And we were playing a lot with the lamp that's in the window and the lampshade.
And I remember that lamp very well. I remember that once I was able to, once you pointed that out, and I saw it with clarity through the camera, I was able to see that because I knew what I had been looking for.
Yeah, and once you know what's there, it's easy to see. We talked too about the poles that make part of that railing. And obviously I've got railing on my deck. There's that railing where we were. We looked at a lot of angled railing. I don't know if you can see through the tree, the railing of their steps down to the water. And if we move over this way a little bit and keep looking to the left, we see different railings at different angles. We see a lot of distance. See the flag kind of pulls out the colors. Up until then you see a lot of greens and shaded greens and whites and grays, and then all of a sudden the red, white, and blue comes piling out with a lot of nice movement. Very nice to focus on.
And there were just actually lots of leaves that were falling down as well. Those leaves are, and there's another one there, they create great opportunity to converge in points in midair that normally we wouldn't see because we're kind of scanning for objects that are there in the distance and not generally not looking in the air.
You know, one thing when I first started doing a lot of work off this deck was looking at the grass and looking at the various shades of green of my own lawn and of lawns further out. But then you see a lot of the browns and a lot of the grays and a lot of the different greens that are part of your lawn. And as I think about those and some leaves that have fallen onto the lawn, I start seeing a whole bunch more clarity, a lot more visual acuity. And even there's a depth to the lawn. So instead of just kind of being a green flat surface, all of a sudden I realize, okay, that's a lot of individual shade blades of grass with shades of color.
And then these, all these, the grass and the leaves, they all invite just gazing into them effortlessly, shifting around, noticing all the movement. Right now, even though I'm looking here, I notice uh, these trees, these leaves moving way over there,
Yeah, I like
and then
going way far, kind of exercise or pumping my eyes where I'll look way down on the horizon at the most distant trees, and then I might stare up at my thumbnail and get that detail, knowing my eyes are getting longer along the axis when I'm looking close, and then I pop them out far and I know they're kind of squeezing shut a little bit along the axis to accommodate that distant vision. And that pumping of that fluid is just real good for the circulation in your eyes. Ooh, the wind, that is a powerful wind. And there goes some leaves.
almost like that exercise of like imagining blowing bubbles and then watching them all in there. Ooh, there's a bird over there.
And it's kind of, I mean, what we're looking for more than anything is movement, our own movement, but also the movement of the trees. It's pretty dramatic with this wind. We don't have a chance to stare. There is no such thing as staring when you're out in the wind like this. It's kind of a nice day to really let time pass. And looking back up at the roof, which is just one of my favorite places because of all the detail and the distance and the visual acuity that's needed to see well over there is just a good reinforcement of the progress I've made. Then I look over there and I see the various shade lines that help make these distinctions.
And then you see the opportunity to shift on that roof, and then there's a tiny little. So I shift over here past this object in the foreground.
Yep.
There's that little. There's that chimney up top, and then kind of one that's smaller and part way, and that's a fun thing to spot out, because initially, if I look through that, it might just kind of blend in with the shingles and just kind of look like a filled in space within all the shingles. But once that clarity comes in, that's another little kind of pipe there. That's beautiful.
And I remember first seeing that pipe on the top that's above the roof line, or most of it's above the roof line, but then I started studying it, looking through my camera, actually, cheating a little bit to get the 20/20 vision where I could see, okay, that's what the base of it looks like. It's actually not at the ridge line of the roof, it's this side of the ridge line, our side of the ridge line. I can see how that base is built. I can see the pipe and the top of the pipe. And I get all those details, secure those in my mind, and then move around a little bit, and then go back and, okay, now I see what's there, because my mind knows what's there, and my mind is just such a part of my visual experience. It is my visual experience.
And there's the closing my eyes, shifting around. And even those railings and those poles, close my eyes, shift through those, look at every single little point along the way.
It's fun how rocking brings that more clear for me. And then the clarity stays when I go back to being still, or more still. Although I really don't want to associate good vision with being still. Good vision is really about movement. Movement is really medicine.
Letting
The vision.
letting go, letting the self move around. Things don't have to be still. Things can't be still. They got to be moving around. All these beautiful trees blowing in the wind. This beautiful thing about Indiana is these kind of, they'll have these spaghetti looking trees, and then this other kind of tree here. well,
Go with that.
see you guys next time. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment for more content. Stay awesome, guys.